Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's thriving today. Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk to you today about these dating apps. Stay away from those dating apps. True story here. Okay, let's see. Let me see where I'm going to start. So, I have been single for many years, right? I feel like I worked on myself. And I was ready to get back out there and start dating. I dated a couple of guys here and there, not from the dating sites, through just maybe a mutual acquaintance through somebody else. Anyway, so I had one friend. Well, she's an acquaintance. I got to be mindful who we call friends. Nothing bad against her, no shade or anything, but everybody is not your friend. But we have a bad habit of saying friend. So anyway, I was over her house one day and she was on the Facebook. You know, Facebook has a dating app in case you didn't know. So she was on her Facebook dating app and she was showing me these guys that, was reaching out to her and a couple of them that she was communicating with. So I thought, now I had a Facebook dating app before, but I kind of shut it down because that stuff can be so draining. Reason being, you keep coming across the same people. If I was to log on today, and it's been almost a year since I've been on there, I can guarantee you I'm going to see the same men on there that I saw almost a year ago. So it makes you wonder, okay, what's going on? You guys haven't found a quality person yet and you still on the site? So anyway, she was showing me the guys that she was communicating with. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll re reactivate my Facebook dating app. And so I did, and let the story begin. So I come across, several guys. One in particular stuck out. I thought he was the finest thing since sliced bread. I thought that man was fine. That probably was my problem. And so we connected. We started communicating. Now, this was a whirlwind of a relationship. Now, I don't know if you want to call it desperate, low self-esteem, which I don't think I have I know I don't have low self-esteem. I know I'm an empath. I know I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to root for the underdog. So I believe all of those things played a part in my deciding to move forward with him. In addition to, so he had a background story, which I thought was compelling, as did I, with my whole autoimmune issue. And so I thought, okay, we got the perfect story. And one day down the line, later on, we'll both speak and share our stories. And so anyway, met him in June. That we talked for a week. That following weekend, we met in person. So it was, a nice connection. We went out. He found a nice place for us to go to dinner. We caught a movie that day. The man even took me to his bank, put me on his safety deposit box. Now, mind you, through conversation, we were sharing pictures. We didn't do FaceTime or anything, but we were sharing pictures back and forth. Lots of conversation. He wanted to be very transparent and open and vulnerable. So he sent me a copy of his birth certificate, his ID, his social security card. So I had no reason not to think, okay, this guy's on the up and up, because who does that? All the men I had ever communicated with, it's almost like pulling teeth just to get their last name so that you can run a background check. You got to do all kind of stuff, jump through hoops to get their last name so you can handle your business so you can see who it is you're dealing with. This man gave me everything up front. So I was like, okay, so that was another kind of like check. I was like, okay, nice looking, okay, transparent, okay, told me, truth about his life. The part, some was by omission. I mean, some was lies by omission, but found that out, a little later on. Nothing extra heavy, but in any case, move the story along. So we met. Let me get back to what I was saying. That same weekend, he went to the bank because I know I'm trustworthy, but I mean, maybe I should have been a red flag to me. I don't know. I just felt like, okay, hey, he trusts me like that. But in all actuality, I had more to lose than he did. But I wasn't looking at it that way. So anyway, he put me on his safety deposit box. We went in there. He showed me his little goods that he had in there. He had a necklace that he had been keeping that was from his mom. He put the necklace on me. Sentimental value to him. He had some kind of bracelet. He put the bracelet on me. So I thought, okay, I like this. This is really nice. And so time went on. Now, both of our birthdays are in September, a couple of days apart. So as we talked and we felt like, we both kind of up in age. We both had been through some things. Hey, we got more years behind us than we have ahead of us. Let's just do it. Now, I was always very intentional with my dating. I didn't want to just be out dating all over the place. I wanted to be married because I know I'm wife material. And that was one of the goals that he had on his list. He had never been married before. I had been married before. I was in a relationship for 20 years. And he had never been married before and he wanted to be married. I wanted to be married again. So we both thought, hey, why not? Now, hindsight 2020. Yeah, I really wanted to believe in love at first sight, love at first encounter. I even started a channel for us after we started dating, and it was called Love After 50 because we were both beyond the age of 50 years old. And had we stayed together, I know that channel would have done very, very well. Well, time goes on. We decided, you know, we were going to get married. So, okay, we started planning. Well, the woman always does all the planning and everything. So I started planning everything. Now, mind you, we met in June. We wanted to get married in September. Now, I did have another friend that was saying, why the rush? Why y'all want to get married now? So here's the deal. The plan was to have a very small wedding that year, last year, 2024, September, and then have a big wedding September of 2025 on our anniversary date. But even the small wedding turned out to be kind of a medium-sized wedding, and that's because he had a larger family, and this was his first time getting married, and none of his family members couldn't believe he was getting married. They was like, "What? This woman must be super duper special, because he ain't never thought about getting married." And so with all that, I felt kind of special. I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, I was a lucky one. Yeah, I was a lucky one. Okay. Anyway, so we got married in his friend's backyard. Beautiful house. Everything was beautiful. The decorations, the food was yummy. The guests were great. The bridesmaids were beautiful. So let me make sure I'm not passing up anything. So we met in June, talked, exchanged pictures, put me on his safety deposit box, showed me his birth certificate, gave me copies of his birth certificate, ID, social security card. So I had all the information about him, his backstory about his life. We talked about marriage. And his thing was at the time, if this don't work, I ain't never getting married again. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, let me not get ahead of the story. So, we went, got our little marriage license, videotaped that, and so then, so then we got married. We got married. He looked very handsome. I looked very beautiful. And okay, let me back up a little bit. I did see what one would call, I guess, yellow flags early on in the relationship. Um, because you always want somebody that's emotionally mature. Well, I started seeing little signs that he wasn't as emotionally mature as I would like for him to have been. But being the nurturer that I am, and then just so hopeful, I felt like, okay, maybe it'll improve with time. It didn't. And again, we need to be mindful and vet people very well. First of all, you need to date at least 6 months to a year, because here's the deal. Had I dated this man 6 months or longer, or let's just say we would have gotten engaged and said we're going to just do the wedding next year, let's just be engaged this year. But he wanted to move forward with getting married, even though I knew the finances weren't really stable enough, and going against my better judgment, because he would assure me that, no, we're going to be all right. I got us. We're going to be good. So I'm like, okay. He was not equipped to be a leader. Make sure the man you get with is equipped to be a leader. He should already have leadership skills and qualities that you should see in him. The woman should not be the leader. And that was something that I let, slide past me, among other things. I set aside some of my non-negotiables, which I should not have. So just to name a few, he did not have his own place. That was one of on my list that I, needed for my man to have. He did have employment, so that was okay. Because and then I just looked at it like, well, what he don't have, I have, and what I don't have, he has. And I don't know why I told myself that, because he didn't have anything. He didn't have anything, so I just fed myself a bunch of lies. And when I look back, I'm just like, what in the world was you thinking? You weren't thinking. I wasn't thinking. So anyway, I went on and I married this man. Now, I have a teenage daughter. She wasn't having it off the top. She didn't care for the whole situation. But when you want what you want, you're going to move forward and do whatever you feel like you want to do, only for it to turn around and bite you in the butt. Because again, I had a girlfriend of mine. She kept asking me, well, what does his credit look like? Well, what does his savings look like? What does this look like? What does that look like? And I was just like, I was not trying to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. I felt like I knew enough because I had his social security number. He had good credit. Now, the savings, the finance part, not so much. But again, I wasn't worried about that. But yeah, I did have way much more to lose than he did, because I have a home, I had a couple of cars, I had a trailer, I, I had some things. He did not. But I felt like, we could get together and we could grow. I can help grow. But see, that's that Build-A-Bear thing I have inside of me. It's gone now. Oh, I got rid of that. No more Build-A-Mans. No more building no man. If you ain't already coming together fully equipped, I can't give you the time of day no more. That situation was a lesson well learned, ladies. And men, for that fact. If you're a man and you listening to this video, vet these people really good. So anyway, so what happened? I things just really started to ooze out, and I really started to see the situation for what it was, because we had to go and rent a whole separate house because I wasn't going to move him in up underneath my daughter. Even though she was 17, 18, I wasn't going to move any man, in my home up underneath my daughter, especially one that I met just that quick. Now, if I want to be out and, being grown and living my life a certain kind of way, then I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to bring it to my main home around my daughter. So we went and we rented another house where he was supposed to be fully responsible for the rent and the bills over there, because he also was Islamic, or practiced Islam, where the men, they take care of the bills and the family, and the wife, she does whatever it is she does behind the scenes, supports the husband, things of that nature. And I made it very clear up front that that's the type of relationship that I was looking for, a traditional marriage. And he was all for it until he wasn't. When those bills got to really kicking his butt, oh, it was just complaint after complaint after complaint, and then it was comparison. Then it turned into a comparison. And I want, if you're in a relationship and if we're not praising each other or elevating each other or bringing positive things to one another's life, then we don't need to be in each other's life. I brought everything positive to his life. He came up on a high limit credit card. He got himself a new car, all with my guidance. Lived in a nice house. I, on the other end, got nothing but complaints and just negativity, just Debbie Downer type of behavior. I mean, it was just bankrupt in all areas. I mean, all areas, if you know what I'm talking about. And so after the marriage, things just started to really unravel. I just really was seeing things for what they were. And I felt like, and I started telling him, I said, I think this was a mistake. I said, I think we really made a mistake. He didn't really want to hear it. I can imagine his first time being married. He really wanted to make it work, but maybe not as much because he wasn't trying to compromise in some of the areas that I wanted him to compromise in. And so eventually I just was like, I'm going to just move forward with filing for a divorce. And so it just kind of went left from there. So he went on to say, well, I just want to make sure, I just want to be totally disconnected from you. So guess what? So the furniture that was over at the house was all furniture that I had already had. It was set up in my garage. My garage looked like a little living room area. And then I bought a couple of beds. I bought some stuff to put into the house to, make it homey for us. So when he fixed his mouth to tell me, I just want to just totally disconnect from you, I said, okay, not a problem. So I went and took all the furniture. So to me, that's totally disconnecting. You a man, we even ready to go through a divorce. You could just go and buy your own furniture. So if you tell me, because in my opinion, we could have still been cordial. I mean, because there was no reason it didn't have to end nasty, but it ended kind of nasty. Um, he's MIA. I don't know, but I was able to file for the divorce. He was served the divorce papers. He served his response. Now he's MIA. But again, it could have been really amicable, however you say that word. It didn't have to be a nasty separation or a nasty divorce. I believe we could have remained friends. He just wasn't the person I thought he was. So I tell this story, it's in bits and pieces, it's not flowing all the way through. I'd be here all day telling that story like that. But I tell that story to say, stay off them dating sites. And if you are on those dating sites, vet that person all the way. Vet them really good. get to know people in their family, their friends. But now the thing is, he had a nice circle of friends. They were all successful. So that was another plus for me with him. I'm like, okay, he has friends that are successful. And he says he's ambitious. So we should be able to put some stuff together and grow together. But again, mentally and emotionally stable, that he was not. I didn't catch all the red flags at first. Like I said, I saw yellow flags. So I don't know what it was in him that I saw that made me really give him the time of day, but I did. I take full accountability for my part that I played, and that's all I can say. But listen, either stay off those dating sites, preferably meet somebody through somebody, but however you come across somebody, you still have to vet them really good and date them. Date them for at least a year. Because again, I thought it was promising. I really wanted to have that love story that said, okay, we met on Facebook and we're doing well. You know, we're successful, we're in love, and just take everybody on this beautiful love story journey with us. Like I said, I had the nerve to even start an Instagram, and it was a YouTube channel I was starting. It was called Love After 50. It was a beautiful concept, but it just wasn't meant to be. He just wasn't for me. So now, the other moral of the story is your non negotiables, stick to them. Your standards, the person, the man that you desire, don't settle. Don't settle. Stay 10 toes down with your decisions and your choices. Okay? I hope this story has helped somebody. But yeah, those dating apps, oh, toxic, toxic, toxic. There are a lot of unhealed people on there. Now, I'm not trying to bash anybody because I was on there too. But guess what? I'm not on there no more. Would I ever go back on there? Heck to the no. I'm good. I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Give a video a thumbs up. And please leave me a comment in the comments section. But remember, over here, we keep it cute. So no nastiness going on over there, okay? I'll see you guys. Oh, hit the notification bell when you do subscribe and click all. So that way when I put out videos, you get notified of my next video. Got more stories to tell, more inspiration, more motivation. I'll see y'all later, okay? Bye.